So today I thought I would show a band that is up and coming that you may not have heard of yet, but they're actually pretty good. They're called Monolith Zero. Now, I first heard about them in the Avenged Sevenfold Deathbats Discord. I was talking to the lead singer Nick, and after a while, I decided to buy one of his CDs, this one right here, the self-titled one. He actually sent me the second one for free as a token of his appreciation, so I definitely appreciate that, Nick, and I will be showing both of the CDs in this video, but this one is the self-titled album. So let's go ahead and get started. Now, with them being, more indie and up and coming, they obviously don't have the resources to dedicate their time into making the cover art or anything like that for the case and presentation like you would see from Avenged Sevenfold or Eminem or Taylor Swift, but they did a pretty good job with what they had available to them. Now, it is a bit difficult to see the actual cover because they did go with a black theme, but you can still make out their faces. So you have Nick standing right in the front right there with the glasses on. He is the only one from the band that I've ever talked to. And then you have Ian, Mike, and Daniel standing behind him. Now, unfortunately, I don't know who is who, as, like I said, I've only talked to Nick before, but this does feel like a pretty standard album cover for an up-and-coming band. I feel like if you have a new album from a band that's working on their art and stuff like that and isn't established like Avenged Sevenfold or anything, this would be a pretty standard cover art, but I will say that it is a little bit dark and it's hard to see some of their faces. It's not just the camera. Like, if you're actually looking at it, it is quite difficult to see some of their faces, but that's my only criticism for the front of the case. I do like the fact that they have the Monolith Zero logo in the bottom left corner, and I believe that is a stylistic choice. I don't think that's a scratch mark. I'll have to open it up in a minute to see. I actually hadn't checked that. But also you can see that the side of the case here is pure black. There is no design, it's no transparency whatsoever. So for what they have to work with, it works pretty well. Now here is the side of the case. Like I said, they don't have the same level of resources as like Avenged or Taylor. So I can't critique them too harsh for this, but it does work for what they're trying to accomplish, which is just put their name on the side of the album. I mean, it's clean, it does the job, so I can't really critique that. Once you open it up, this is what you are presented with, and they did definitely stick with the black sort of aesthetic. It does work to a degree. I mean, I really like the disc itself. While it is black, they at least put their logo on it in a stylistic way, and I think that looks really cool. It's very simplistic, but it has the stylization to kind of stand out from just being standard text. Plus, they even put the track list on the CD itself. So to me, that is, a bit of love appreciation for their craft. They actually cared about what the CD looks like, and they did well. As far as the paperwork goes, once again, they put their faces on it, which is really cool, and it's a lot clearer to see this time. You can see each one of their faces a lot better. But let me go to the top here. So you have Nick Istaquio. Hopefully I didn't butcher your last name there, Nick. If I did, apologies. Then you have Mike Rance, Ian Dubson, and Daniel DeGeorges. Hopefully I didn't butcher that. It feels like that would not be the pronunciation, but sorry if I did. But yeah, you have all the information for what they've done and stuff like that. Now let's go ahead and open the paperwork up because they actually put some work into this, and I definitely appreciate this. So right away, you get a group photo, a black and white group photo, really cool to see, and then you get a special thanks. Now, like I said before, they did have a black theme before, but they decided to spruce up the colors for the paperwork, and I think it works really nicely. You can go ahead and read the special thanks if you want for each one of them. Now, once you get past that initial thanks page, you get to the lyrics themselves, and they are actually really well done, more than I would have expected, because typically lyrics pages will just have the lyrics to the song and then maybe have an image, maybe two images behind it, and it's typically black and white fashion or something. But Monolith decided to actually put care and effort into the lyrics page. So you have Sika with colored text. Like, I know that's not like a huge deal for some people, but considering the aesthetic of this album, it pops out really well. And you get the band members' faces, one for each song. So there is Sika, and here is Surrender. And I just love the action shot here. That's just hilarious face. It's like, ah! And then, of course, you get my boy Nick on the left here for Onwards. And here is my favorite song on the entire album, probably Holistic. And then here's the final page again. Honestly, the whole paperwork was put together so much better than some of the bigger bands and artists that I have on CD. Like, they actually put love and care into this, and it shows. Well done. And then the backside might be simple, but honestly, the paperwork itself makes up for a lot of it because the paperwork differs itself from the actual case, which seems to want to follow that black aesthetic, which is fine because that's what they were going for. But yeah, I really like Holistic, and Onwards is pretty good too. Now let's move over to the second CD, As the Universe Dies. This is the one that Nick sent to me for free, so definitely appreciate that. Now, you could already tell that this isn't the standard plastic casing. This might be a paper or this could be a hybrid. So it's going to be either a make or a break. If you've watched a few of my videos in the past, you know that I'm not a fan of the paper case stylings, the ones like Avenged Sevenfold, but I don't mind at all the ones that are like a hybrid. So, is this going to be a make or a break? And luckily, this is a make. I do not like it when they just have the CDs just loose in the paper. Basically, CD cases like this, where if you just loosen your grip, the CD just comes out. But I absolutely prefer this plastic case styling where the CD is securely locked in place and has no chance of falling out. The design of the CD itself is pretty cool, continues to follow that glitch style, which is nice to see. I almost thought it was going to be one where like the CD itself would match up perfectly and align perfectly with the background, so that if you took it out, you would just lose the Monolith Zero font and the lyrics. But it doesn't quite match the background, but it's still cool nonetheless. I do appreciate the song list on the CD itself. And then here is the case design for behind the CD. And then on the left side, it just has this right here. How does it feel to be human? Repeated in that styling of the glitch. So continuing with the theme. Unfortunately, no paperwork on this, but that's okay. And then that glitch design follows itself all the way from the front of the case, around the side, and to the back. And yes, there is no Monolith Zero text on the side. They just continued the design from the front to the back, which is nice. And then here is the back of the CD. Pretty good presentation overall. I like it. I really like the glitch design. And then my favorite song from this album is Neurotoxin, probably. Really good music overall, though. If you like rock or prog rock, anything of that kind of nature, you'd probably be into this. But overall, really cool presentation.